Hi guys. So on one of my last videos, I talked about polytechnic graduates and third class graduates coming to the US to pursue a master's, a graduate program, master's or PhD. But yeah, I didn't really get the time to jump. I didn't really get the time to go into detail, and that hurts me a lot. It's just I'm trying to keep the video short. I don't want to put out too many information out there, and yeah, people don't really get what I'm talking about. So what exactly I'm talking about is, in simple language, you don't need a PhD, postgraduate diploma, from a Nigerian university or wherever, London or wherever, for you to pursue a master's or PhD program in the US, or yeah, in the US. I would say Canada is slightly different. So for the US, I mean, you just need to evaluate your credential. So we call it credential evaluation. So if you're evaluating your credential, you're doing it with one of the accredited evaluation agencies like ECE or WES. ECE or WES. ECE's website is ece.org. WES's website is wes.org. And what you want to do is a course by course evaluation. It's called course by course evaluation. You're going to see it there. I don't know if I'm pronouncing correctly. Course, whatever. You're going to see it there. So you do a course by course evaluation, and yeah, their prices are slightly different, and their processing times also are slightly different. I think EC is faster than WES, but WES is the one I really recommend the most to people. So after your evaluation, which should take on average between 7 days to 1 month, depending on which of them you're using, and depending on how quickly your school responds to their inquiries. Like, they would verify, they will request for verification and maybe some other documents, so depending on how quickly your school responds, that will really help you a lot, also help your processing time. So you want to have someone in your school, keeping an eye on your evaluation. Correspondence coming from the agency, so someone needs to keep an eye on that. So that's something. And after you get your evaluation report, you can then go ahead and look for schools, apply to schools, and get accepted, and you can go from there. So I'm just trying to keep this video short. The important thing there is you need to evaluate. You evaluate your credential as a polytechnic graduate or a third class graduate from a university. Don't go straight. Please don't do it. Don't go straight to applying to schools. Yes, I mean, I'm not saying some people don't get lucky. Yes, some people might get lucky, but really, just a very few of those schools understand the HND grading system. And as a third class graduate coming from another country, I mean, you're already at a disadvantage, and you don't want to go ahead and apply directly with that. If you're doing that, and which I think people do a lot, and sometimes I can even advise someone to apply with the third class directly to a school for a master's degree. PhD, I don't know, but master's degree maybe. And if you're doing that as a third class graduate, most times what I would recommend for people to do is don't apply for regular admission. Don't, because sometimes you might do that. You think you stand a chance of getting admitted, and if there are a lot of applicants for that, school year you're applying for, you might just get denied, and that breaks your heart. So what you want to do, most times, most schools allow it. You request for a conditional admission from Jump Street. You request for conditional admission. Conditional admission would be, you don't really have all the requirements they need. Your GPA is not as strong, for them, but you are telling them, hey, give me the chance, give me a shot, take me in. I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm going to satisfy all the requirements. So most times the requirement for conditional admission would be all the primary requirement for admission, which would be your transcript, your resume, your passport, your supporting documents like what do you call it, your bank statements, financial support affidavit, and all that stuff, your statement of purpose. You turn in all that stuff, and also there's a condition that says you must be able to maintain a 3.0 GPA. That's what most of them want. Second tier and third tier universities, that's what they want. A 3.0 GPA to stay in status. If you're able to maintain a 3.0 GPA while you're schooling here, then you have satisfied that condition. Then you are a regular student, So that's just that. But I strongly recommend third class graduates to also evaluate credential. It makes you a stronger candidate for admission. And what else am I gonna say? Back to my polytechnic brothers and sisters. So please, it's just you don't do it. Please don't apply without evaluating. Just go ahead and do it. Invest the money into it. It's gonna be worth it in the long run, trust me. So invest the money into it, evaluate your credential, then you can start applying to schools. Please, once again, you don't need a PhD to come study for master's or PhD abroad. As a matter of fact, in the US, they would accept you for a direct PhD program they will accept you for a direct PhD program without even a master's already, straight with an HND. They will accept you for a direct PhD program in the US. So yeah, if you have that big dreams, you are that guy that likes academics a lot, you like book, like we call it, please, keep that dream alive. Don't give up, don't lose hope. There's a lot of hope out there. Just evaluate your credential, especially if you didn't graduate with a strong GPA in your polytechnic. Evaluate your credential. You're evaluating both your OND and your HND combined, which will now equate both, to a US Bachelor's. They're going to write it on your transcript, US Bachelor's. So when you have that US Bachelor's, the possibilities are actually endless. You can apply to schools as long as you meet the required minimum GPA. You apply to schools, you apply for programs, graduate programs, and you go from there. You can achieve stuff. So that's what I would say to you guys as polytechnic graduates. Please take your time. As a matter of fact, that's the most difficult. I don't want to say most time consuming, but it kind of looks that way. It takes a little bit of time, but every other process after your evaluation doesn't really take time. It doesn't take time. Before you know it, you apply to schools. If it's at a peak time when they review applications so quickly, you get a decision within a week or two sometimes. So let's keep those dreams alive, apply, and keep fingers crossed. Of course, depending on your religion, pray. That helps a lot. And please feel free to drop a comment, feel free to like, share, subscribe, and ask me personal questions, specific questions. I'm very available to help, however I can. But I would love for you guys to really just start putting in these applications. Let's see what happens. Thank you.